What's up, guys? Welcome back to a live show, post game live show. It's not going to be a very long one. Probably many are watching the Arsenal against Sporting game. I have it on, so I'm guilty myself. But yeah, it's not going to be a long stream because I did my match reaction for the game. Gonna talk about a few things today. The most important thing, obviously, we won. And we needed to win, and there were some doubts, me included. Like I was doubtful about this game. I wasn't really confident because of what I saw against Sampdoria, and what I saw even at home against Freiburg, where we kept these teams alive way too long. And in my opinion, we even did that today. Same thing. We kept them in the game for no good reason. I don't know why we are like this, but we are like this. Um, Also, going to talk about the post game, which was interesting in my opinion. But before we get into it, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification if you're new. Now, we won. Like we did what we needed to do. And you might say that's all. I just had a discussion about it. We all have like, oh, winning is the most important thing. It is important. I agree. But if you want to compete and if you want to go back to the top, it needs to improve in so many ways, because that's who we are, who we were back then, The game started off and I was shocked. I was surprised because Freiburg gave us the ball. I don't understand why they gave us the ball, to be honest, because um, they have very, very little quality. Like if I'm being completely honest, I think their best shot was to get the crowd up to it, up for it, which they were, and just go for it, pin us back, and I'll talk about pinning us back, and just go for it. They were trying to give us a ball and counterattack, but they have no quality. Like it is what it is. It's one of the first. I'll, I'll stand with it. It's one of the worst teams we played. It's up there with Sampdoria. Like those two teams were probably the worst teams we faced all season. Like teams with very little quality, and they will only get into the game if you make mistakes, like we did against Sampdoria. So they gave us the ball, and we had no real idea what to do with it. Like we were waiting again on a cross, a set piece, and I tweeted it out, and it was a big discussion. If you are okay with the way we play, if you are okay with the way we create chances, that's fine. I'm not, because I'm not. Some people live from game to game. I don't do that because I can come on today and say, wow, Gatti is the starter for the next 10 years based on that game. And I will talk about Gatti. But I'm not going to do that because you cannot be a prisoner of the moment. You cannot live from game to game. You need to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is 2 years and a half. Footballing wise, we are regressing. I don't want to hear we're second in the league. We're 15 points off Napoli. Oh, but they're having a great season. And that's an excuse for us having a crap season? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Napoli are having a great season. I get it. But that's not an excuse for us having an absolute disaster season in Europe, with the Champions League and even in the league. Like, that's not an excuse when the goals were different at the start of the season. So I was waiting for, again, a cross, whatever, and it came, and Vlahovic got the goal. He was offside, and at that moment I was like, oh, he's never going to score again. Like, at this point, you're just never going to score a goal for us again. It's done. After that, we had a good spell where we created chances or we put pressure and we made some bad decisions, but whatever, it was better. We were in total control because Freiburg allowed us, and they have no quality almost. Like it is what it is. That being said, the goal, the pen, comes from great link-up play from Jordi and Federico Gatti. And I will highlight Gatti now because I was scared. I think a lot of people were scared because what he showed so far wasn't great. Like he looks very rash. He looks very he plays the game at 100%, but over the top at 100%. Like Chiellini can do it, but like he can mask him being like a madman on the pitch. He can't do that. Like he can't. And I was scared, but he was excellent. He was the best player on that pitch, from first minute to the 19th minute. Like his anticipations, his quality on the ball, everything was just good from Gatti. He was pushing up the field, he was linking up play, he was winning the ball high up. That goal comes from him, that pen. It was great. No idea what he was doing there, but it was great. Credit to him because it's good to know that he can have these type of games. That's an encouragement. Like that's okay. You can do it because he's gonna play more. Like Alexandro, there are gonna be injuries, and Rugani, we know what Rugani is. Bonucci, we know what Bonucci is. So it's good to know that okay, he can up his level. It's just can he do it consistently or can he do it when he gets called upon because he's not the starter. That's the key thing here. But he was great. Vlahovic gets his pen. I was scared. It was a very ugly pen. I don't care. He doesn't care. His teammates didn't care. You can see it the way they celebrated. He needed that goal. No matter how that goal went in, it's not important. It just needed to go in. It goes in. Post game, he basically said the same thing that's gonna be a confidence boost, and it was. It was a confidence boost, which is good. Good for him, good for us. He got his goal. Really happy for him. Red card. It was a red card. Should have got a red card earlier than that. And then the second half. Uh, I couldn't believe what I've watched in that second half. I think nobody, or like you can believe it, but you just can't believe in terms of that's unacceptable. They are a bad team. They go down to 10 men, and we make them look great. We make them look great. We got away with certain situations. We couldn't keep hold of the ball. We were so sloppy. Counterattacks were terrible, and that's what Allegri also said. Like, we have the players for it, but we were messing them up consistently. I don't know what happened at halftime. I don't know what was said at halftime, but we were terrible. That was a terrible half of football against 10 men, against a very average footballing side. Like, yes, they're fourth in the league, whatever, and that's my point. They're fourth in the league, and look at the product they put out there. It's bad. That's why I keep saying it. Yes, we're second in the league, but the product is not good. Like, doesn't that say a lot about the teams in and around you? In my opinion, like Inter are second, third, whatever. They lost already 8 games in Serie A. You need to look at these things. When you talk about we're second with a few points up on them, like you need to look at the complete picture at the full context. But that second half was very, very worrying. And Allegri, after the game, for once, he was very honest and he repeated it. I don't know how many times. He even said the same thing, or like he said these words, answering questions that had nothing to do with the second half. He was pissed. He said that second half is basically unacceptable. Against 10 men, you cannot play like that. You cannot give the ball away. You cannot mess up situations where you can score goals. You cannot be shaky and be scared to play and all those things and play that bad technically. That was the biggest mistake. Like technically, and we didn't want it anymore. Like we were not winning duels. It was just like, we made it out of the group. Like we made it to the next round. That's not the case. 1 goal and you know what happened, 10 men or not. So we was right. For once, I'm happy what Allegri said post-game because he repeated it so many times that I feel he's really pissed. You watched him on the sideline. You probably heard him on the sideline through the broadcast. That he repeated it so many times is positive for me because that means he was really, really pissed. And he should be pissed because that's just not acceptable. Like, it's not good enough. But yeah. The other positive thing, was, of course, Chiesa. He was very unlucky, I would say, with hitting the crossbar. I must add, I have a feeling sometimes in front of goal, he's too rash or he wants to do it too perfect, and that's why he's quote-unquote unlucky. He just needs to stay calm because he has all the qualities to put those chances away. And you can see that with the goal he scored. It wasn't easy, close control, puts it to the side a little bit, little flick, and puts it away in the bottom corner. Quality. Good for him, for his confidence, and obviously for the moment he's in, because when he scored, he ran to the fans and he apologized. And post game, he said like, "Yeah, I want to be here and I cannot help the team when I'm having these problems. You know, out for a year, then struggling with fitness and all those things." But it's good. It's positive that he got his goal. Obviously, also for Inter on Sunday. It's good to know that okay, Vlahovic got a goal, even if it's pen and Alkali pen. You know, after a month, that's what's needed. Chiesa got a goal. Di Maria is probably fit enough to play minutes. Those are all positives for the last game on Sunday before the World Cup break, before the international break. But the biggest picture, like the grand scheme of things, we won. Like we needed to win. We know it's not going to be smooth sailings every single game, you know, and probably most of the game is not going to be like that. You know, we will have moments where you're like, what's happening? You know, like how can this happen? We know that, and that's fine. I guess it's not fine, but we need to deal with it, especially this season. The most important thing is we are in the quarterfinals. Tomorrow we will know who we will play. We don't know who we will play now, but what's for certain is the quality of the opponent will be much, much higher than Nantes or Freiburg. Looking at the teams that made it out of the group, I will go over them really quickly. It's Sevilla, who are not doing good in the league, but they have something, I don't know what it is, but they turn up in the Europa League. And it's not going to be an easy game. We know that. Feyenoord, you think on paper, that's good. They absolutely dismantled Shakhtar 7-1. Going at that place is terrible. I watched the Dutch league. It's terrible. The fans, they can suffocate you. Like, it's not fun to go out there and play. It can really... It's like... I've seen teams go out there and it feels like they're seeing ghosts at time. Like, where they were in control of the game, and then in 10 minutes, something insane happened where you're like, what just happened? You were in control of the games and then you're completely out of it. You lost it. So that's not easy. Then you have Man U, obviously, not easy. You have Arsenal or Sporting. None of them are easy games. They're not. Leverkusen, you might say, maybe that's on paper with Sevilla, the easiest one, you might say. Roma are out of it. I'm so pissed that we only picked 1 point out of 6 against Roma. We should have won both games, but we didn't. So that's that. And then you have the Belgium side, Union, who I think 99% of the people in the chat or on this channel will be like, who? They came out from the second division in the season 1920. And they have been incredible. They just missed out on the title last season, and they should have won it. They were the better side, but, inexperienced, they missed out of it. They're in the title race now. They beat the team, I look at where I live in Belgium. They beat them last week in a good fashion while playing Europa League game. They don't have a big squad, but somehow they are... You can compare them to the Atalanta of Italy. They have high energy. They have quality players. They have a great style of play. They will fight for every single inch on that pitch. It's beautiful to watch. Like, you need to be honest. Their counterattacks are unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable. It's almost unstoppable. It's going to be a very tough game if you pick up those teams. Because quality-wise, they are better. You might say, who is that? They absolutely destroyed Union Berlin, who are not a pop side, So it's not going to be an easy draw, obviously, but you need to deal with it, I guess. And you need to up your level. It's that's all I can say, I guess. But yeah, let me look at the comments really quickly. Because I'm talking about the draw, but the draw is tomorrow. Cuadrado's very consistent. He's always our worst player on the pitch. Yeah, I've said enough about Cuadrado. Nice to see Dusan being positive with his words. Agree. To me, it didn't feel like a knockout game the way Freiburg played. I kind of agree with you. Yeah, especially that first half. The second half was ridiculous, but not surprising. Yeah, Feyenoord is great. They are. Arne Slot will be a good choice for our next coach. Too early. Hopefully Sporting win. Yeah, I guess. I don't really... Yeah, if you look at the big picture, a big club out of it. Please like the video if you just joined and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, I guess we just take the win and we move on. At this point, it's that type of seasons. Like we have a lot of injuries as well. It's just a draining season. Let's see tomorrow. We might come out tomorrow and be like, "Ah, we need to play Arsenal, Man U. They are better teams, and it could be a very long 2 games. Hope we can get Union. You know, that's I'm being selfish, so I can go to the game. They don't play in their own stadium. I need to add that because their stadium is just too small and it won't be allowed by UEFA because it's very very old. So they play in the stadium of Anderlecht, which could be a home game. If you look at the way the Berlin fans travel, like it was like a home game, but still they show up, as a team. But yeah, also Fajoli played great. He played great. I love what Fajoli is doing, especially that second part of the season. He is growing exponentially, which is very, very positive. It's very good. He's in control of games. When I had the feeling before the World Cup, he wasn't really in control of games, but he's getting consistent minutes. He's getting the trust. He's the main guy now. Like he's in that lineup, and that's helping, of course. Playing week in, week out, making mistakes, learning from it. Which is good. Like it's a good positive sign for us. And for him, of course. Um, but yeah, I don't have much to add anymore. Excuse me. I want to do a quick match reaction. A very late one after the game. That's why I don't think a lot of people are watching. Um, but excuse me. But yeah, just to win. I think that's the most important thing. Again, I repeat myself because I wasn't really confident based on what I've seen the last couple of days. Do you think Leverkusen are also better than Freiburg? I expected much more from Freiburg, especially in Germany, considering their form in the league, particularly at home. I think Leverkusen have more quality, but they're not having as good as a season as Freiburg. So, okay, maybe now you can say they're having a better season than Freiburg because they are in in the next round of the Europa League, obviously in the quarterfinals of Europa League. So you can suggest that. Excuse me. You can suggest that they are having a better league, but I thought they were mid-table this season. Let me see. Yeah, they're 9, so down the middle, smack down the middle. They lost 10 games. I think they have a better squad, but if you are, let me see. If you are 11 points away from Freiburg, then yes, you are having a worse season. But I think they have more quality, individual quality. Maybe as a team, they're all over the place. I haven't watched Leverkusen, but they have more quality if you look at the squad, the player-wise. But again, we have more quality, but as a squad, we are not better than certain teams with less quality. So I don't know what that means. Take that with a pinch of salt. But let's see tomorrow. Who we will get. Obviously, Leverkusen has some very good players like Diaby. Yeah, words. Yeah, they're a very good player. How do you pronounce the Belgian team? It's Union Saint-Gilloise. So it's a Brussels team. It's a team from Brussels. Allegri needs to start Chiesa. Yeah, but I think Chiesa even admitted today that he's just not fit and he wasn't happy, and he apologized. That's why he apologized to the fans, and he's like, "I'm frustrating. I'm frustrated because I think I'm ready. Then I play and I feel something, or in training I have a setback." And he says, "My fitness, it's all over the place, and that's why I cannot get a consistent run of games." That's what he was saying. So yes, I want Chiesa to start, but I don't think he's 100% fit. And I think I think Allegri at this moment in time is like, okay, if you cannot play 50 minutes, whatever, then I'd rather keep you in as an impact sub. Now, in certain games, I wouldn't go that approach. In other games, it might make sense, Like today, you were 1-0 up, you are the better team, you should be doing the job. If you need a Chiesa, you can come off the bench like you did today. Now, if he has 60 minutes in his legs, I would start him against Chiesa. I would start him against Inter. I would do that rather than keep him as an impact sub, especially if Di Maria is not fit enough to start. I need one of them on that pitch against Inter. Just my opinion. But I think that's what Allegri is going with, because he basically admitted that he's not 100% fit and he's struggling, to be very consistent at this moment in time. So you need to take you need to take note of that. I guess I don't think it's fair to just pile on an Allegri when even Chiesa comes out and is like, okay, I just can't at this moment in time. Thoughts on Pogba, the situation, controversy surrounding him. The controversy is we as fans. Like he's not doing anything. He's not picking up the injuries because he wants to pick him up. Picked him up. Excuse me. The club knew what they were getting into. It's just a very terrible, unfortunate season. Yes, the surgery thing was symbolic, but the club agreed with it. So even if they claim they don't, if you don't, you would have pushed for it, in my opinion, but they didn't. So it's easy to say as a club now, oh, we didn't agree with it, but there wasn't really a pushback, as reports suggest. So the controversy is just created by us fans. Yes, it's not fun, and yes, it's a bad deal now. But it's what it is. Like I don't know what to tell you about it anymore. It's just praying that he can somehow stay fit for 30 games in the season. That's just the hope now, because if he can, he will give a lot and he will add top world-class quality. But it's just a situation at this moment in time. What's about the Rabiot extension news? Yeah, I'm not buying that. He was excellent again today, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not buying that. He's going to be missed out of that midfield because he's our best midfielder this season. Consistency from start to finish. We are going to miss him. You're going to need to replace him. I did the Rovella live, yes, but his injury record really, really concerns me. It does, especially if he comes in and not replace direct Rabiot, but you lose a player like Rabiot who never picks up injuries. He is available all the time, like he's a machine. You're going to miss that. You're going to be frustrated if players just pick up injuries here and there every single week and there's no consistency in that midfield. It's an issue. It's going to be an issue. And it might sound ridiculous, but we're going to miss Rabiot. Can we even count Paredes in the squad anymore? No, I've said it. And I think something will come out very soon because Barrenechea came on again. Like Paredes is not even coming on in the last minute, like Carvalho yesterday came on for Liverpool, like pity seconds, basically. It's not even getting that. So something must have happened, and it will come out at some point because I cannot believe Allegri is doing this without a reason. Just put in Barrenechea, start him. Don't give Paredes any minutes when he was your guy. You wanted him. So something really happened. So I'm very interested to find out what it is. I think the next transfer window, we need to get a full midfield rebuild. It's not going to happen. And I think we need a full backline rebuild. That's the biggest weakness of this team. I keep saying it. People say it's improved, it's better. Like, I'm sorry, but you're blind. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if that's improving, if that's great, then yeah, man, like then we are in for a really banter era because that backline is not good. I'd rather invest a lot of the money in that area than in our midfield, who is not, again, I'm not saying it's world-class midfield or whatever, but it's better. Locatelli needs to be more involved in our counterattacks. He's pretty good at sending runners free with his through ball. Yeah, but he's playing in a position where it's very difficult to do, especially in this brand of football we play. We sit in deep. He sits in deep most of the time. That's why maybe if Rovella comes in and he trusts him, but I have so many doubts on Rovella with Allegri because he keeps saying, I see Fagioli playing that position. I don't. But isn't that an indication, like Paredes isn't getting minutes, he's playing Barrenechea, Locatelli gets pushed in that, then you're saying Fagioli can play a Regista role. Are we really certain that Rovella is coming back? And if he comes back, he's going to be that guy? I don't think we can be that certain. I don't. So, yeah, let's see. I guess let's see. Who was a Wales player in the match? That's up for you to say. I must say, Perin had a great game today. Mattia Perin, fantastic game for him. Great saves. Who would have thought that Perin could do that? So credit to him today. I think I prefer the current midfield to Matuidi, Pjanic, Khedira, sadly. Oh, in the prime, nah. I'm taking Pjanic. Khedira was unbelievable when he could stay fit. I like Matuidi. He was very underrated, like a bit like Rabiot. Only Rabiot is getting more goals now. So yeah. But Enchea did not look good in that short cameo. Yeah, he's not good on the ball. Like he's good at breaking up play, but like technically on the ball, he's just not. He's not that great of a player. But we knew that, you know. I'm not gonna, you know, I don't like. I'm not gonna call him out for that because I know what he's good at, or like no, I've not watched him tons of times, but like I have a good a good feeling of what he can do better than what he cannot do. Like, and it's obvious in the games he's played. Like on the ball, it is what it is. But off possession, I think he's good. Like he can read the game very well, close down gaps, and break up play, and that's what Allegri likes. That's what Allegri said he can do well. So, and Paredes wasn't doing that. You know, yeah, he was doing that, but he was killing opponents with stupid fouls and stuff. Like it was ridiculous at times. So that's why he made the switch, I guess. Or like that's one of the reasons he made the switch. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up because I said I'm not gonna do a long live. I will be back tomorrow. Not sure what the topic will be. Obviously, the Europa League draw. That's gonna be the main topic, of course. And then we will be live on Saturday as well for the preview, post game on Sunday, and then it's international break. I need to see. I'm working on something new, something fun, something new regarding podcasts or whatever. That's in the working, but it needs more time. But that's gonna be fun. Excited. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, nothing to add. Please like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Go watch my match reaction if you want, if you haven't. And yeah, I will see you again tomorrow, same time. Thanks for watching. Ciao. I'm not going to do a live for the Europa League draw because I need to go straight to work after the draw ends, so I don't have any time. I'm sorry. I wanted to do it, but I'm not going to make it. Like I'm gonna be late at work, so I cannot do that. But I will be live later that evening to discuss that. So try to catch that if you can. Thanks for watching.